You're watching Mid-American Conference Volleyball on ESPN. The gales of November came early as temperatures dropped below freezing in Muncie, Indiana, but we get to cozy up at Worthen Arena for the penultimate game of the regular season. It's the Central Michigan Chippewas facing off against the Ball State Cardinals. And we welcome you courtside to Media Row. I'm Dylan Budd, and that's Rowan Elbert. And Rowan, while we have our thermometers out, one team comes into today on a cold streak, but the other has been red hot.
Dylan, I'm not a fan of the cold. I think everyone in Muncie can agree with that, except for the Ball State Cardinals. Look at them on such a hot streak right now. Only one loss in MAC play. How about the Chippewas? On the other side, you're looking at 5 matches in a row they've lost. 2 teams, polar opposites.
And starting with the Chippewas, it's been the freshman phenom Taylor Kripe making a name.
What Taylor Kripe has done as a freshman has been immense for the Chippewas, leading this team in kills. Not only that, just offensively and defensively, really making a strong case for MAC Freshman of the Year.
And as for the Cardinals, Carson Tyler has been the best of what's around.
You know, Dylan, watching Carson Tyler last season, I didn't think it could get much better. Boy, oh boy, was I wrong. Not only one of the best players in the MAC, but one of the best players in the nation, period. She's been ridiculous.
And for more on this matchup, we send it down to the first time.
Hey guys, the Ball State Cardinals land in Worthen Arena after a business trip in Ypsilanti to face the Central Michigan Chippewas in their final 2 regular season matchups. The Chippewas currently on a 5-game losing streak, hoping to flip the script and end their schedule in the win column. Now, just last week, the Ball State Cardinals claimed the Mid-American Conference outright regular season title in a guaranteed trip to the semifinals in the MAC tournament after defeating the Eastern Michigan Eagles in back-to-back nights.
Thank you, Annika. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for either side as they get announced here in Worthen. Looking at either side, it is business as usual. The Cardinals getting ready for a postseason run. The Chippewas just trying to stay alive. What do you see, Rowan?
Dylan, that's the way it should be. Looking at Ball State, it's business as usual. You have the 3 middle blockers because it's a tune-up for the MAC tournament. That's exactly how it should be, Dylan.
Cameron Weiss, Carson Tyler, the setter committee. Lindsey Green has gotten the starting nod, though. Tiffany Snook labeled as a middle hitter, but we've seen her transition to that opposite side for much of this year. But turning over to Central Michigan, we've got the outstanding offensive weapons of Natalia Raymond, the Polish power, backed by the libero Alina Anderson. Abby Olin, similar to Snook, transition to that opposite side hitter. Normally labeled as a middle blocker, but Grace Thomas has been great on the slide for Central Michigan. And the setter, Keelan Mill, coming off a MAC Center of the Week nod. They've been ridiculous, and they hope to shock Cardinals today.
I'm glad you brought up the slide. Central Michigan, they love the slide action. We were talking to Coach Arielle Wilson about that, and she said you can really just get the best overall offensive momentum with the slide action. They used it at Penn State when she was a player there alongside Ball State assistant in Darcy Dorton. So she knows all about it. That's why she's implementing it into her program.
And before this game gets underway, we're going to take a look at coaches' resumes. And starting with Arielle Wilson of Central Michigan, in her first year, it's really just about establishing a team culture. But as a resume for a player and a coach in her time at Penn State, she certainly has made a name for herself across the NCAA.
Yeah, not just at Penn State as a player, an assistant at Georgia Tech, and also Michigan State, DePaul, Missouri most recently. She's been everywhere. She's been there, done that. Now finally a chance to be a head coach at the D1 level.
And as for Kelly Miller Phillips, this is her 10th season under the helm, the progenitor of the illustrious Steve Shondell. Her 120th MAC win was the second EMU game. She's certainly made a name for herself in the MAC in establishing a winning culture, but the first serve is gone by Mill, and we are underway. Immediately, Van Oort hits the deck. Tyler gets the first attack, just fails out of bounds. Cardinals draw first blood.
That's what Carson Tyler is going to do. She'll hit the ball so hard that even if you can get a hand to it, there's not much you can do. Alina Anderson, she found out the hard way.
The first setter for the Cardinals all year. Lindsey Green, serve for Ball State. Weiss one-on-one gets the rejection over Olin. One more, no. Tyler sends it over, hits it where the Chippewas ain't. Cardinals lead 2-0.
That's the benefit of Carson Tyler once again. Not just offensively, but defensively at the net. She can do it right there, Carson Tyler. That was her 47th block of the year.
Now the junior Green will rise again. Chippewa's attack is a dump over. Ledbetter can't get her arm on it. We saw that against Ohio, Rowan. Ball State struggling to contend that second touch.
Even against Kent State a couple of matches ago, that dump off really got to them.
It'll now be Natalia Raymond. One service ace away from 100 on her career. This time, no dice. Snook gets it. It'll be a back row attack for Raymond. Ledbetter to Tyler on the far side. Just hits the hands of the libero Anderson, but we play on. And that one falls out of bounds. Kripe gets her first kill of the day.
It's not a super tough type of look for Kripe. Tried to get it on the back row, but Ball State just getting a hand to it.
Raymond gallops, and we're back. Short little serve brought up by Green, but doing it herself is Brooklyn Connor, the towering 6'3" senior.
That's a rare mistake by the Cardinals. Lindsey Green anticipating the set on the second touch. It just went a little bit too long for her liking.
Now Raymond offering again. Snook, Green, Snook again. Goes off the Chippewa hands, and it's a Cardinal point. We're knotted up at 3-3 early on.
That's why you use Tiffany Snook in that way. A middle hitter, she can be used on that right side as well. She can do so many things for the Cardinals. She's been fun to watch in her first year.
Spinning serve from Carson Tyler. We haven't seen it since Bowling Green, but proving to be effective early on. Had stuck with that knuckleball of a serve before, but she goes back to the spin and proving to be effective already. Now the Chippewas responds, back row from Raymond. Green keeps it up. Ledbetter over her head. It just has to be free balled over. Could be a big momentum swing. Falls inbounds, and Olin gets her first.
Abby Olin, another player that after this season as a redshirt senior, Central Michigan is going to miss dearly. And for reasons like that, now you got Hannah Langton coming in to serve it across. She has been solid at the stripe with 8 aces.
We've seen her come in for her effectiveness at the stripe. Tyler gets the dig. Green up the middle to Weiss. Falls out of bounds. Chippewas lead once more.
Central Michigan just capitalizing off of Ball State's mistakes early. That's what I've seen, at least in his first couple of points.
Uncharacteristic of Weiss to miss. Hitting percentage leads the MAC. Now it'll be Van Ort. Kept alive by the Chippewas. Now we go opposite side to Kripe. Tyler just has to keep it alive. It'll be set over from Green. Now just a push from Olin. Ledbetter, Green, Tyler back row, but just hits the tape. Chippewa's point.
You know what, Dylan? I like the idea. Carson Tyler, a back row attack. We didn't see it as often earlier on in the season, but the last few matches, you like the idea, just left it a little bit too short.
She's at her best when she moves around. Now Langton again. Tyler, Green, Weiss once more. That time it'll work. She redeems.
That's what you gotta do. That's your most consistent attacking option. You go to one of your blockers. Cam Wise, statistically, she's been the best for Ball State, one of the best in the entire Mid-American Conference, leading the MAC in hitting percentage for reasons like that.
That .399 percentage, if the season ended today, would be second in program history. Chippewas get the point there in row, and we've got some familiar faces here at courtside, one of them being President Mearns there with Jeff Mitchell conversing a little bit, set to see the final games of the MAC regular season.
Hey, they know what it's all about. There's no better place to be on a Thursday night than right here.
Olin's offering goes into the tape. Now we see the 6-2 rotation come into play. Axness, part of the setter committee, she will serve, and Kristen Ashby will replace the towering Tiffany Snook. Axness gets it away, saved from Anderson. It'll be Kripe off the arms of Ledbetter. Not much you can do there.
Ledbetter, that's one of the best liberos in the entire Mid-American Conference, but even for her, there will be moments like that where it's just too strong to handle.
So Kripe gets the reward of serving. 23 service aces to 45 errors in her name. The far right side, her offering is away. It'll go to Tyler, Axness. Kroll wanted it, but it's Van Ort. Kept up from Kripe. Now on the opposite side, Raymond. Axness says no. What say you, Noel? Kept up from Central. Now on the slide, it's Grace Thomas. We've seen it all year, but it falls wide and out of bounds.
They had the right idea. You go to what works best. You go to your bread and butter, and that's the slide action for Central Michigan. Going in reverse with Mill. Great effort by Thomas, just out of play.
Looks like the green card has been pulled by Coach Ariel Wilson. And early on in set one, Rowan, we're going to go into review.
That's what you have to do. You have to look at these.
We'll be back in just a moment. And as this game gets just underway, there are familiar faces roaming the sidelines. 3 prolific pin hitters of the Ball State Cardinals just haven't been able to get on the court this year for a number of injuries, those being Anaya Kennedy, Katie Eganoff, and Maddie Buckley. 163 combined kills against Central Michigan from those 3. Ball State is certainly missing them.
What's wild to me is that all 3 of those players last season combined for 6.7 kills per set. That's a big loss, but Ball State's been able to be so good this year without the 3 of them. 15-1 in MAC play. It's that next man up mentality. Ball State has used it to the best of their abilities.
Now we get to take a look at our replay here. Did Thomas's kill touch any blocker? Looks like it might have gone off that pinky of Kristen Ashby, at least from my look.
That's exactly what I see right here, because the pinky, it kind of deflects back. That's going to be the immediate tell. And if that's the case, if that's enough to overturn, that's what you have to look at. Is it enough evidence to overturn? That's a great shot, great angle. That might be enough.
Our head official still in conversation now. Looks like we're about to have a ruling, but seems to be for us that Ashby's left pinky got a hold of that ball. It would be Central Michigan's point. So rather than it being an 8-7 Chippewa lead, now it goes to 9-6. And here's something interesting. The call stands, Rowan. They rule that it went out of bounds, didn't touch Ashby's hand.
Perhaps that you think about it this way, maybe the pinky, you just can't give it to him. Maybe not enough evidence. Could have been overturned, but we play on.
And now Elizabeth Tabling comes in. She has a service ace in her last 6 straight games. We get a ball near us. Ashby tries to save it, but goes on the opposite side of the net. Central Michigan now up 9-7.
Dylan, that's one of those moments where you just lean back, you let it come your way, get out of the way. When they're coming full speed towards you, you do not want to get in their way.
Absolutely not. No interfering with a live ball. It'll be Thomas to serve it away. Tyler gets it to Axness. Tyler again, facing the double block, rejected but out of bounds.
Even though that didn't go Central Michigan's direction, that's one of their strengths, their middle blockers. This is even with Grace Thomas and Keelan Mill getting up there as well. Their blockers have been so good.
Mill with 40 blocks on the year, but now the Bowling Green product, Gwen Krull, was the one to send it away. Chips and Cardinals trade tools as Raymond's kill goes out of bounds.
I don't think Ball State was expecting them to go to Raymond. I think they were expecting the reverse, as you saw right there over to Connor. Raymond was ready for it on that near side.
The Chips have done a great job of mixing it up in their attacks. Now Weiss up the middle, that'll land again.
That's what you have to do. You go back to your bread and butter, and for Ball State, that's attacking your middle blockers. You give it to Cam Weiss, you give it to Gwen Krull, Tiffany Snook when you use her as a middle hitter. You go to those more consistent options.
Speaking of Snook, she and Green return. Starters are back on the floor. This time, opposite side, kept up from Ledbetter. Over the head is Green. Tyler just tries to tip it over. Kept up from Ball State. Dump over by Snook. Now, other side, Raymond again. Tabling can't get an arm on it.
Natalia Raymond, we're potentially looking at maybe her last couple of games at the collegiate level, and that's a shame. She's been so good, and for plays like this, attacking that near side, Ball State has not been able to contain it so far.
In 5 games against Ball State, she has 64 kills and double-doubles in 4 of them. Just hits the top of the table and can't get on it. Service ace effectively for Raymond. And in an anticlimactic way, that's her 100th career service ace.
How about that? One of the CMU greats getting it done.
Tries to make it 101. Tallied as an error.
I think she was looking for that topper type of play off of the net like we saw in the last ace. Just didn't quite go her way that time around.
Not a lot of depth on these Chippewa serves early on, but Tyler again, ball rotating, goes to the opposite side. Just a fight at the stripe, and Weiss gets the upper hand, quite literally.
It's tough for Ball State to even, and for Central Michigan, when it's a joust at the net, it's really a 50-50 ball. You don't know who it'll go to.
Gyrating serve is Tyler. Live ball goes right by us at media row. Free balled over from Raymond. Tyler, Green, Van Ort from the back row. Sails wide, Cards want a tip, and they get it.
That was genius. The fake pump up and then the back row attack for the Cardinals. Man, I love it. One of the other great things that Kelly Miller-Phillips does is we have a timeout called. Kelly Miller-Phillips, such a great volleyball mind, and for plays like that.
Timeout called by Central Michigan as we are knotted up at 12-12, but looking on, leading the way in either team in kills, it's the Cardinals with Cam Wise.
And that's to no surprise as we go back to that last play where Ball State with Noelle Van Ort in the back row. You fake the attack to Wise, you go with Van Ort. Central Michigan was expecting it mainly due to what Cam Wise has been doing for Ball State in this matchup. She's been so impressive because that's what you have to do. You go to your middle blockers. Cardinals have done it all season. You love your outside hitters,
well,
sure.
And considering the injuries to these outside hitters at Kennedy, Eganoff, Buckley, it means that you have to be even more creative as an offensive mind. And even without all of those pin hitters, Ball State finds themselves at the top of the conference in pretty much every major offensive statistic. Kills, assists, points, all of it, it's been all Cardinal and white.
When we talked to Kelly Miller-Phillips, she was telling us when she heard about these injuries, there was a grieving process, as you would always expect. But then after that, it's like, hey, it's next man up. How do we utilize the players we have? And you also look at Noelle Van Ort, what she's been able to do for the Cardinals as an outside hitter. She was probably going to get valuable playing time anyway, but really making the most of her time and being one of the many big reasons as to why Ball State is the MAC regular season champions.
And the craziest thing about Noelle Van Ort's story, coming from an NAI school, Indiana Tech, for 4 straight years, and then the transition has been seamless, but after graduating, she was already getting into her post-grad job as an engineer until she got a phone call from Kelly Miller-Phillips, talked to her company, they let her take a gap, and here she is on the floor.
It's crazy to think in the next few weeks she'll be going back to work.
Could you imagine? Tyler's attempt goes into the tape. It's her first service error. Could be reconsidering that jump serve, but already a couple aces now. As Central's 20 gets on the court, it's Hannah Langton. Switches sides. Now on the far side. Probably adjusting to the Cardinal defense. It'll be dug up by Van Ort. Goes over the net, and Olin takes it herself. Cardinal point as it sails wide. Discombobulation on both sides.
Golden opportunity for the former Michigan State Spartan, and Olin just goes wide right. Ball State really wasn't quite ready, could have gone over the top of Van Ort, just goes wide.
Just hit the wrong part of the senior's hand. The libero Ledbetter gets us back underway. Now it's Olin to redeem. Van Ort with the save. Kroll up the middle, first time we've called her name. Kept up from Central on a free ball. Tyler, Green, Kroll on the slide, and that'll land. The swaying Kroll gets it done.
Gwen Kroll was really the MVP of that possession. That joust at the net, but then followed by this slide action kill. The Cardinals use it quite often, maybe not as much as Central Michigan, but the slide really does work in their favor.
Now Ledbetter gets it back. Anderson a sliding save. Has to be free balled again. This could be a big gain of momentum. Green, Tyler again. Kept up from Central. Now we go opposite side, and that'll land for Olin. They do a slide of their own, and it'll work. We're knotted up at 14.
What's that saying, Dylan? Anything you can do, I can do better. I think Central Michigan just did the same thing right there. going to the slide action. Both teams, they like it. It gives you more momentum on the kill attempt to go up and climb the ladder. I like the move for both teams.
Now this is an interesting call. Checking in is the freshman setter, Molly Beatty. Her serve goes. Van Oort just tips it over. Kept up by Snook. Green to Van Oort, facing the double block. She is rejected at the line by Grace Thomas and Abby Olin.
I'm glad you mentioned Molly Beatty coming into this matchup. Played for Club Munciana growing up, which was founded by former Ball State head coach Steve Shondell.
Now Beatty rises again. Green to Snook on the slide. If it isn't broken, don't fix it. Snook gets the kill.
Tiffany Snook has been so good on that right side. Kelly Miller-Phillips was telling us that her switching from a middle to more of that right side specialist, it was kind of by default because of the pieces the Cardinals had, but she's really made the most of it and adjusted well.
Now Axness will rise again. She had 17 assists in that second Eastern Michigan game. Brought up by Raymond. Now it'll be Kripe, double block, and Ashby and Kroll, momentum killer. Roof service from the two up front.
That's exactly why you have Kristen Ashby out there. Over 30 blocks on the season in her limited time, adding to that total right there.
So Axness gets us going again. Mill, opposite side now. Thomas with the save. Looked like it was brought up, but early whistle blows and Central gets the point.
You thought for a second Reese Axis had a great play on that, despite maybe being a little bit behind. She bounced back well, but Central Michigan once again finding the hardwood.
It'll be Kripe this time. The exchange brought up by Tyler. Ashby gets her name called. Wanted the coffin corner, but won't get it out of bounds. Central leads again.
That's the place you want to attack with Kristen Ashby. Go across court. Central Michigan's not expecting it. Maybe too much mustard on that attempt.
Kripe from the far side. Again, a short serve. Axness to Kroll, and that'll land once more. Her third try of the day, two of them to the avail of the middle blocker.
Dylan, in these last couple of points, it really has been the Gwen Kroll show. Really all of the middle blockers, but Kroll especially, just getting that down. There's nothing Central Michigan can do when she goes full force with it.
She's been heating up since conference play, and so fun to watch. Mill now to Thomas on the slide. Tyler just dumps it over, but back row attack there. And a joust at the middle, comfortably won by Thomas and Raymond.
I like how the Chippewas use Taylor Kripe. It's what they've done all season. You really don't see her on one or the other side. It'll mostly be the back row attack, mainly because you use her as a defensive specialist in that area too. I like the move.
Now Thomas, after getting one more kill, 28 in her 3 games against Ball State. Kroll tries another, pinballs around and hits the floor where the Cardinals aren't. Chips lead by 2.
It's a rare time where Ball State's not going to win that joust at the net. And that's fine. You have to take what you can get. Central Michigan, great effort by Grace Thomas.
29 service aces to her name. Ledbetter, Axness, and Tyler. One-on-one joust at the net, kept up by Kroll. Axness, Tyler again on the double block. Crosses, but kept up by Olin. It'll go from the back row to Kripe, saved by Axness. Tabling to Tyler once more. Third time isn't the charm. One-on-one, Ashby and Kroll get the stop. Back row again from Kripe. Ledbetter the save. Tyler bumps it. Free ball from Axness. Central could get something going here. Raymond! Wanted a tip. Cardinals get the advantage.
That's one of those long, sustained possessions where you just sit back and you're like, huh. Now we play on, we have to continue on. It's hard to think about that after such a great effort by both teams.
So after the Chippewa boondoggle, Cardinals get a chance to serve once more. Raymond on the double block. Ashby and Wise say no.
I love the way they've been using Kristen Ashby as a blocker in this match and really all season. When you double up with her and Weiss, just stonewalling any attacker.
31 total blocks coming into this. She has 2 already today. Mill one-on-one with Tyler. Net violation is called. The latter one anyhow. Cardinals get the lead once more, they win the race to 20.
That's the big thing. You go by fives if you're in volleyball. 5, 10, winning the race to 15, and Ball State gets the big one, 20. But really the big one, 25.
Looks like Central Michigan calls their second timeout. No more chances to converse it over in the first set, but Central Michigan, they've really been right there with the Ball State Cardinals, who have been so incredible in the first set. 14-2 on that first set in MAC play. The only 2 losses in those Ohio games, but Central is right there with them, right on their heels.
Dylan, I'm getting a bit of deja vu on Central Michigan's side, going back to their Miami matches, where in both of those, even though they fell in both, they won the first set, which is always what you want to do. You get off to a hot start. Statistically, if you win the first set, chances are you might win the game if you continue that momentum. But what we've seen from Central Michigan, maybe they tire out a little bit as we go into the second set, the third set, and so forth. For Ball State, though, the second set, as we move towards that, you really have to win this first one, because they're 8-8 in set 2.
Well, Central was 10-6 in MAC play in set 1, so both teams have been prolific in getting out and hitting the ground running. But I'm glad you mentioned that there's a little bit more of a marathon to this. The Cardinals in MAC play 7-0 in set 4, 3-0 when it gets to 5. So undefeated when we go into extra play.
You already knew Central Michigan was going to play tight with the Cardinals in set 1. It's what they did with Miami both, and not even winning those sets. Going into the 30s, I wouldn't be, and that was in the first match against Miami, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something similar in this one.
And when we talked to Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips, she said that the 6-10 record of Central Michigan does not tell the full story. They are a whole lot better than what their record would say. Opposite side, circus play from Olin, but we stay alive. Tyler, booming kill, but won't go. Raymond against the double block. Axness just hits it up. Tabling to Tyler again. Why not go with her? Who else but Carson Tyler to get to 21?
Attacking that backside, even though there are a couple of Chippewas in the area, you hit it so hard, there's nothing you can do to get that. It just is so tough for the Chippewas to contain.
Now Krull gifts it to Kripe. Anderson, Raymond. Tyler had to dodge it from hitting her head. Good call from the sophomore as it goes out of bounds. So now it's 22-19, the magic number for Ball State. Just 3 points away from winning the outset. One-on-one, not won by the Cardinals. That ball came our way.
And shout out to our stage manager, Ryan Stojets, getting out of harm's way with that. But yeah, coming our way. Not only that, Ball State just mishandling it. A rare joust that they lose.
Big thanks to the stage manager for not hitting one of these monitors. Mills sends it across. Weiss, her try goes off the chest of Anderson. 23-20 Cardinal lead.
Cam Weiss just continuing a monster day for Ball State. She's been there when her name has been called. All of the blockers have been, but Weiss over the middle goes off of Alina Anderson. Not much she can do.
This is worst case for Central. Cardinals' best server, Green, sends it away. Her 39 service aces, 5th in the MAC, but dump over from Keelan Mill. Chips aren't out yet.
It's hard to find an Achilles heel with Ball State. That might be it. Those dump overs have really hurt them the last few matches.
Now we go back to Natalia Raymond. Short serve once more. Tabling Green, Snook. Completely barreled into Anderson, and the Cardinals are 1 point away.
Tiffany Snook just hitting that so hard, you can't contain it.
Tyler, spinning serve recovered by Central. Green gets the save, it'll be to Van Oort. Anderson with a diving corral. Slide action to Connor, can't be controlled by the libero Ledbetter.
Central Michigan keeping it alive, even though Ball State is so close, they're right on the inch of that doorstep. The Chippewas are right there too. They know they can rally, they know they're still in this set.
Timeout is called by Kelly Miller-Phillips, just a chance for them to talk it over. The server would be Hannah Langton with her 8 service aces to 7 errors. We've seen her come in, especially in MAC play, to join that rotation of servers, but We'll take a little bit to talk it over first.
Hey, you go with that senior leadership with Anderson, like you were saying. I like the timeout for Ball State. You have 2 timeouts. Why not use them? That's why Kelly Miller-Phillips saves those timeouts for the end of sets. Just that last point is all you need. And you know how hard it can be for Ball State, knowing you're so close, you can't get satisfied. You have to go full throttle, pedal to the metal on the Chippewas.
A lot of football, a lot of teams here from Ball State. It's Student Athlete Appreciation Night here at Worthen Arena, so we've got all sorts of programs, including the football team. We've got our documentary series together. It's the exclusive SportsLink All Access series created by Jude Kiefer and streaming now. New episode came out at 5 p.m. today.
Together. It's been very fun to watch, really seeing a behind-the-scenes look at this Ball State football team and what's been a really fun season under first-year head coach Mike Uremovich.
Certainly, and him as a first-year head coach establishing a team culture as well. A lot of new faces, new transfers on that squad, and they've really been able to do a good job of picking up those pieces and fighting in every single game. Let's get on to volleyball, shall we? Hannah Langton tries to keep the first set alive for Central. It'll go to Tiffany Snook and it'll land. Cardinals like to party. It's their 15th first set win.
One step closer for the Cardinals. Tiffany Snook, another middle that the Cardinals rely on heavy, getting it done right there.
Got it just a few minutes before we get into set 2. Be back in just a moment.
Right now, we see multiple teams in attendance supporting the women's volleyball team, so a big thanks to all of our athletes here in Muncie who are balancing their schoolwork with exceptional athletic performance.
Danica, set 2 just about to be underway. Leading the Ball State Cardinals, Tiffany Snook with 4 kills leading either side. That slide action has worked numerously in the first set. We've seen it with Snook, we've seen it with Wise, we've seen it with Kroll, that the use of the middle blockers on either team is very prolific.
Yeah, using your middle blockers, whether it's Weiss, even Kroll. Weiss has 3 kills herself. We continue to look around the arena. We got the gymnastics team right there. One of my favorite nights, appreciating the great student athletes. We have men's volleyball. They're about to get started in the next coming weeks, the next coming months. Men's volleyball, an exciting season coming their way. So really We're focused on women's volleyball, sure, but so many great teams on campus. It's a fun time to be a Cardinal.
Rowan, there's a lot of athleticism in the building.
Yet some that we don't really have.
Yeah, no. There's nothing close to the speed, the agility, the power that some of these athletes have. I certainly don't have it, I'll tell you that much.
You know what? That's why we're in the booth. That's why we're here.
Yeah. That's why we talk about it. That's why we don't play. But getting us underway for set 2 will be Lindsey Green. Her 39 service aces are the 5th most in the Mid-American Conference to 26 service errors. Positive ratio for her. She tries to increase that. We're back at Worthen. Olin up the middle, saved by Snook. It'll be Carson Tyler to start the second set. Goes by both Chippewas. Cardinals get the first point of either set off the arm of number 20.
You may think you can get a hand to it, but in actuality, you can't. Carson Tyler just goes full force with it.
Now Green's offering sliding save from Raymond. It's a scramble for the ball, but the Chips get the point off of Taylor Cripes. Just a little push over the net.
Taylor Kripe on the left side, you usually see her attack from the back row. It's rare that they see that, just shoving it across with the pass. Great look by the Chippewas, getting the freshman Kripe involved.
Speaking of which, she gets the nod for the serve, coming off a double-double of 10 kills, 16 digs. It'll be Olin on the right side. Green can't get an arm on it.
Lindsey Green had the right idea. That's fundamental volleyball. Kelly Miller-Phillips always preaches the fundamentals. That's what they do to start every practice. That time didn't quite work out.
So Kripe from the near side, knuckleballs it over. One-on-one, easily handled by Natalia Raymond.
Central Michigan has just been so good in the middle in these first couple of points in set 2. Something that I was impressed with for the most part in set 1.
Now the senior has 4 kills as well as Snook. Kripe sends it over, saved by Ledbetter. Wise's attempt goes wide. The Chippewas coming out to an early lead in set 2. We've seen the struggles from the Cardinals in this stanza.
Yeah, 8 and 8 in set 2 for the Cardinals in MAC play. Weiss just goes too long, like the idea, but a little bit too much on it.
Kripe once more. Van Ort, it'll be Weiss up the middle, and she redeems again.
Way to redeem yourself if you're Cam Weiss and the Cardinals after that last point, cutting that lead in half.
Tyler, the spin once more. It's been so effective. Kripe can't get an arm on it. At least she does, but it goes into the stands. It's a great response from Ball State. Some sort of dance going on in their bench after that ace.
Hey, might as well. It's the time to dance.
Off the arm of Anderson, 2 straight service aces for the standout sophomore.
Alina Anderson, you're looking on the season at 91% reception percentage. Not exactly what you want in moments like that represented.
Tyler's attempt goes wide. We see the pros and the cons of trying something new on the serve there. 2 straight service aces, but an error right after.
And that's common. You're flowing, you're red hot. And there's, for the most part, there will be an error after that because you try and switch it up.
Now Langton gets the nod again. The pride of Kingston, Illinois sends it away. It'll be to Van Ort opposite side, rejected at the line. Now Snook slams it home, but kept up from the Chips. Raymond free balls. Tyler, Green, Weiss again, kept up. Choreographed is the back row attack from Tyler. Double block on Raymond. Gets past, but brought up by Green. Van Ort opposite side. Globe-trotting is this ball, but ends there from the extinguishing Noelle Van Ort.
Another long, sustained rally. The Chippewas stayed in it, but after Ball State was down 4-2, all of a sudden on a 3-1 run in this second set, evening it up at 5.
All year long, the Cardinals, especially on offense, will make you work for those points. Anderson now to Raymond on the double block, but Tyler keeps it alive. It'll be to Snook. She's been outstanding today.
Tiffany Snook, what we've seen from her on the right side and in the middle, utilizing her in both spots today, she's been perfect really everywhere you put her.
And with her height and lankiness and her experience as a middle blocker, it's very defensive up front. The attack from Thomas goes wide. Cardinals get the point. Looked like they wanted a tip.
Yeah,
Central Michigan.
Just too strong on Thomas's end. Great idea with the slide, just too strong.
So Ledbetter gets another one. In reverse is Thomas. Second touch from Kroll, but that sails just wide. I like the idea of the craftiness, and with someone of the hitting percentage of Gwen Kroll, third in the MAC, you would expect to see it land, just couldn't get it done there.
Yeah, the dump over you usually see from the setter, but the blocker can do it too. That time, just too much.
So Beatty comes in once more. That service rotation has shuffled around all year for Central Michigan. Now double-digit service errors for the 5'11" freshman.
It's those little mistakes, Dylan, that end up being the big things. The little things always become the big things. That's what wins you sets. And those errors, they add up.
And with both teams being so fundamentally inclined and striving to be fundamentally sound, little mistakes like that will go a long way. Axness brings it over. It'll be from the back row, but string music and the Cardinals get the point.
Dylan, how often have we seen that today? The back row attacks that have just been left short from both teams. We see it with Kripe. That's a rare time where she just doesn't have the full velocity on that back row attack. Usually you see more mustard on that.
Discombobulation from the Chippewa offense. We'll be back in just a moment. Than arena, and the surface that both teams are playing on is one with a long story. Here's Annika Whitty for more.
Thanks, guys. So we see Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips helping to lay down the Terraflex for tonight's match. She has done so for every match these past 2 years, ever since Worthen implemented the Terraflex for both Cardinal volleyball teams.
Extensive benefits of using that court for player safety, for game action. List goes on and on.
I love that she helps out with that too, because that's the saying. I wouldn't tell you to do something that I wouldn't do myself. Kelly Miller-Phillips helping with that.
Props to the Ball State coach. Now on a scramble for the ball, Tyler tries a back row attack of her own, but Ashby gets it done herself.
That's why you use Kristen Ashby on that right side. That's where she's going to get the most strength on those hits. Nothing that Central Michigan can do. They juggle it, they bobble it. Ends up being a point.
Now the Chips try and get back in rhythm. It'll be Raymond, touched by the Cardinals, but falls into pay dirt. Chippewas respond. Amidst some discombobulation from either side, I think that timeout might have rattled them a little bit.
Yeah, we talk about sliding, the timeout really helping because it gets you set up for those slide plays like that where Mill was going in reverse to set up that kill.
Raymond will rise once more. Van Ort to Axness to Tyler on the slide. That's Kroll, check that, but goes out of bounds. Central Michigan gets another point. So Raymond gets to rise again, coming off of 11 kills and 15 digs, a double-double of her own. Just hits the top of the tape, but Ledbetter collects. It'll be Van Ort, the graduate. Off a Chippewa hand, and another kill for the Indiana Tech graduate.
Noelle Van Ort, she's been attacking 24% in the Eastern Michigan series the last 2 matches, but upping that percentage right there with plays like that.
Checking in once more is Elizabeth Tabling. It'll be Thomas on the slide. Didn't work that time. Now Kroll up the middle, recovered by Raymond. Kroll again, no. Tyler tries it, but hit into the lattice.
Central Michigan once again winning those battles at the net. That time didn't really have to do much. Ball State just didn't put enough on it to go over. Chippewas just staying put here in this second set, ready to strike.
Thomas hits from the middle. Axness to Tyler. Facing the double block, the cross shot kill kept alive. It'll be Kroll. No, Ashby. Crafty offense, but doesn't work. Central Michigan finds themselves clawing back for that lead.
Why not go back to what's been working? Ashby has 3 kills today. Why not go back to it? The Chippewas are ready that time, stonewalling her.
Long serve there from Thomas, but Tyler tries to push the pace, and it'll work. Off the hand of the aforementioned middle blocker, and the Cardinals respond with one of their own.
That was just a miscommunication on Central Michigan's part. Natalia Raymond, she was calling, hey, get over there. No one could quite get to that ball in time on the Chippewas' end.
Up next, it'll be Gwen Kroll. Cheesehead sends it over. Raymond to Mill, falling in reverse for the attack into the home of the Terraflex court. It was Brooklyn Connor.
Brooklyn Connor right on that near side. You go one-on-one with Tyler, you're not going to win that most of the time. Connor just gets it by her.
Tabling had a great extension, but no dice. Tyler tries again. Hit up from Anderson. Up the middle, almost 2 straight kills for Brooklyn Connor, but no. Scramble for the ball, and the Cardinals respond with one more.
If you're Central Michigan, that just can't happen. Ashby, that was essentially the equivalent to a free ball. Just sending it over, not expecting much. The Chippewas, they just can't handle what's essentially a layup.
And since that timeout, still these transactions haven't been communicated well on either side. It'll be Thomas, but Carson Tyler says no.
Tyler at the net. I said it earlier, when it's one-on-one with Tyler, you're not going to win most of the time. Just like that, stonewalling at the net.
Know her for her offense, but outstanding defense as well for the New York product. They try it now with Olin, kept up from Snook. Why not try Carson Tyler again? Dump over, recovered. Green falling away, now tabling to Tyler once more. Raymond easily collects. Green keeps it up, it's a scramble. Touched over by Van Oort. Long rally, Green keeps it up now. Carson Tyler, what say you? Kripe keeps it. Back row attack, just free-balled over from Raymond. A lot of discombobulation. Can Carson Tyler extinguish? Yes, she can. Ball headed our way, Rowan, once more.
That was right in the line of fire. Natalia Raymond, great effort there, but when Carson Tyler hits it on that backside, especially with the spin on that, you're tumbling, you just can't do it.
The outside hitter has so much power, some of the most in the Mid-American Conference. Booming attempt, but tabling keeps it up. 2 straight for Tyler? No. Anderson keeps it. Kripe facing the double block. Sails wide, they want a tip. They say no. Raymond looks like she's gonna protest. Green card immediately pulled by Arielle Wilson.
Immediately is right, because when you see those immediately called by a coach, it's for one, trusting your players of, hey, I trust you that you know what you saw right there on the floor, but also they think on their side that it's blatantly obvious. We'll be the judge of that. You see it on Ball State's end. Ooh, do you see Weiss's finger just goes back a little bit, but that's what we saw earlier with the Ashby off of her pinky, so who knows if they'll be willing to overturn that. See, Weiss, you can tell it just goes slightly off the tip of her finger, or maybe it's just the ball's inflection on that. You can see it's that middle finger on Cam Weiss. The question being, Dylan, the call on the floor, it was a point for Ball State. Is it enough to overturn? That I don't know.
The oscillation from Weiss's right middle finger, certainly you would think would be an overturned call, but we don't know today. This would be a big swing of momentum as well for either side.
Because you see that finger move back after the ball had come through its line of fire. That usually tells you that, hey, the ball hit her middle finger. We await the official ruling, but it looks like that could be overturned in the Chippewas' direction.
Now looking to the history of these two sides, there's a lot of playoff matchups between the two, and for more we go down to Annika Whitty.
Tonight we are witnessing the long-awaited reunion of both head coaches, but last time these two teams played together, it was the end of Central Michigan's season.
We saw a matchup in the MAC semifinals, and the Cardinals got the better of the Chippewas. They're on pace to do so once more. It'll now be Tyler. Double block, but it goes out of bounds.
But I'm glad you brought it up. I'm glad Annika brought it up. Central Michigan, these players, they were there last year when Ball State ended their season in the MAC tournament in that second round, a 5-set match. They feel the heartbreak to this day.
And it was off the right arm of Carson Tyler. Has another service error as she's experimenting with that spinning serve. Again, the last time we saw it was those Bowling Green games. Stopped doing it against Ohio. From then on, didn't have much rotation on it, but she's trying it again today. Why not? No stakes. She now gets the dig, but we go to Van Oort opposite side, and thunderous is Noelle Van Oort.
Thunderous is right. Great serve up by Lindsey Green going cross court. The Chippewas just weren't ready for it. Noelle Van Oort has such power. An NAIA standout over at Indiana Tech, just continuing her prowess at the MAC level.
Ledbetter's parabola, covered by Central. The attack there from the middle blocker falls wide, and the Cardinals get the point again.
All of a sudden, Ball State, if we're looking back at their last few matches, this is some of the best set-2 Cardinals we've seen the last few weeks.
Positive implications for that MAC postseason run. Tip there from Raymond is just enough. Chips get the point. They're still in this, just down 4. They've been down by worse earlier on today as Beatty checks back in.
I'm glad you brought that up. It could be worse. Raymond, that soft touch, you're not going to see a lot of thunderous attacks on her end. It's going to be those little soft, consistent touches over, stuff like that.
Beatty's offering once again short. It'll be Van Oort once more. Recovered by Kripe. Now the opposite side, Raymond off the hands of Ledbetter. Slide action to Thomas. Scramble for the ball, and the Cards keep it up. Falling away was Van Oort, but it'll still play on. Violation called. Cardinals, after all of that offensive power from Central Michigan, get yet another point.
And you're that much closer to winning that battle to 20, that sought-after battle to 20. Like I was saying earlier, in volleyball, you go by 5s with your goals. The big one's 25, but getting to 20, especially when you're up by 5 like the Cardinals are right now, huge.
Axness and Ashby check back in. The former will serve. Swing of the right arm, and we're back. Kripe attacks from the back row. Tyler somehow keeps it up. Tattooed was that Raymond kill attempt. Couldn't be corralled that time by Axness. Just a great kill from Grace Thomas.
You can give Grace Thomas all the credit in the world, and she deserves it for that thunderous spike. Reese Axness, I mean, there's just not much the freshman can do. Climbing the ladder, getting it down.
So many offensive weapons on either side. The power has been a lot of fun to watch. Axness now to Van Oort. Has an arm of her own, and she shows it there. Cardinals get to 21st.
Noelle Van Oort has been on fire for Ball State, especially in this second set. That's her 5th kill right there.
2 Cardinals with 5 kills. Her and the Hamilton Southeastern product, Tiffany Snook. Tabling sends it over. Dump over. Once again, it'll work. Cardinals haven't been able to contest that all day long.
Yeah, we've seen 3 dump overs, and all 3 times Ball State has had no response for it. I wonder after this extended second set break if we'll see a response to it in set number 3.
Have to appreciate Coach Wilson's craftiness. Thomas sends it over. Tabling, Axness. Ashby gets the attack, and that'll land on a tool. As the Cards lead by 5, Gwen Kroll puts us back in play. Slide once more, kept up by Cam Wise. Carson Tyler wanted it, but amidst the scrambling, Central gets the point.
That's what Tyler has to do. You try to keep Central Michigan off guard. Tyler had the right idea, but it was too little too late.
Now that's something interesting. Mill's serve doesn't even get over the net. You can tell they're trying to go for short serves to keep this offense of Ball State out of rhythm, but just couldn't even touch the net.
Keelan Mill knew it immediately, and when you're setting it away, you do know it immediately when it's short.
And now is the productive server Green. Wilson gets out of the way for Raymond, and Kripe just sets it over. Tries to find the opening, but Tyler recovers. Snook's attempt thwarted by Raymond. Tabling now. Green will get it to Tyler. Over the double block, but recovered by Raymond once more. She's had a number of digs. It looked like it went off somebody's foot, and Ball State gets the point.
It's one of those rare things right there. I think you are right. I think that did go off of a foot. Ball State within 2, a hefty lead in the second set. Just that much closer to that big win that they can get.
There's something you gotta appreciate about a big bounce on a ball. Green with a short serve of her own. Now Raymond just bumps it over. Cardinals in rhythm. It'll be Tyler completely stuffed at the line.
Both teams have been ready for each other's back row attacks. We just haven't seen much success in that department for either team. Ball State, that usually works to a T when you move Carson Tyler around. Not that time.
They try it again with Tyler, and for the second straight time, Brooklyn Connor with the veto.
Brooklyn Connor, the former Clemson Tiger. Such a big block on Tyler, one-on-one. They both have the height, they both have the power, and it's a 50-50 matchup. That time, Brooklyn Connor getting the upper hand.
Cards just need 2 points to take set 2 and have a 2-0 lead, but it feels like it is all Central Michigan right now. Their magic number at this point is 6.
So for Ball State, you're 2 away. It's the same thing I said in the first set. You might be close, you might be right on the back door, but you have to be full throttle to the metal. You have to be right there. The blocking numbers, it goes to show. Central Michigan winning in that department, that's going to get you further along, which is what we've seen in this second set. The Chippewas, they've been able to bounce back because of the blocking, and especially from Brooklyn Connor.
And when we talked to Coach Wilson, one of the big things that she had noted that her team is going to need is a strong net presence. 6 blocks combined in 2 sets to the Cardinals 3. When we talked to Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips, her response to us as to big keys for the series was defense, defense, defense. They haven't really been able to stop those Chippewa attacks on pin hitters.
That's funny because we asked Kelly Miller-Phillips, what are 3 things you wanted to address? And she just said defense, defense, defense. Not much more. This is a Ball State team with not many weaknesses, but Kelly Miller-Phillips, she'll tell it how it is, and that's exactly how she sees it.
She said she'd put defense down 10 times rather than just 3. Taylor Kripe gets us back underway after the intermission. It'll be Snook up the middle. Kripe makes the diving play. Now Raymond, one-on-one, tabling recovers. Dump over from Green. Haven't seen that very often recently, but Chippewas recover. Now it's a scramble. Both teams out of rhythm. Can the Chippewas respond? One-on-one, rejection from Carson Tyler. Unbelievable return to sender.
It's rare that we talk about Carson Tyler for her defense. I mean, sure, she's had great attacking today, but it's the defense. It's been the blocking. That's what's been the highlight of Carson Tyler's day.
Arms waving across Worthen Arena. Tyler didn't have any spin on that serve. Ledbetter, Tiffany Snook. Can she extinguish? No. Keeps it up, though. They'll try with Tyler from the back row. Kept up from Mill. Now it's Kripe, back row attack of her own, but Ledbetter recovers. Weiss, that time it'll land. The middle blocker, living in efficiency. Great play from Cam Weiss to get us into halftime. Cards lead 2-0. Welcome back here at Worthen Arena. Ball State leads the Central Michigan Chippewas in 2-0, but Rowan, one of the big things that I'm looking at with this matchup so far, it's been offense, offense, offense.
It's so nice, you have to say it 3 times, Dylan. A combined so far 27 kills for both teams. It has been offense, offense, offense. Ball State not even having the upper hand in that. Central Michigan, they've been out killing Ball State 15-12. That's been a big number. You see the Chippewas coming with full force. It's just been those little mistakes for the Chippewas that have really gone against them.
And Ball State, as we said earlier in this contest, so fundamentally sound, and it's making Central work for their kills, but leading the way on either side is Carson Tyler with 8. Our impact player has been ridiculous, hitting at just 14.8% though. Also has 5 digs to her name. Lindsey Green is on pace for a double-double as well with 13 assists and 8 digs. But as we take a look here at the halftime stats, the Cardinals lead in kills by just 3, 28-35. The most productive offense in the MAC hasn't been able to run away with their production just yet. The name of the game for Central Michigan has been their blocks. Their net presence has been ridiculous. We mentioned it early on, and as we know, efficiency is key for offense. Ball State out hitting Central Michigan Chippewas 213-135.
But also look at this, the attacking errors. That's the reason why the Cardinals lead 2-0. 15-12, that might not look like a big difference, but it really is at the end of the day, especially when with a team like Ball State, you're essentially playing catch up if you're the Chippewas. To compete with how fundamentally sound they are, Central Michigan hasn't been able to do it mainly because of those mistakes on the attacks.
Well, you and I know better than anyone that matching is a beautiful thing. Any team can beat any other one at any time, anywhere, any place. And Central, although they've lost 2 sets, they've still done a great job of hanging with the top team in the conference. Looking at the head coaches, we just saw Arielle Wilson and Kelly Miller-Phillips finish conversing with her team. For more on these 2 coaches, let's bring it back down to Annika Whitty.
Thanks, guys. A highly anticipated reunion in Worthen takes place tonight with Chippewa head coach Arielle Wilson and Cardinal assistant coach Darcy Dorton, who are members of the same pack of Nittany Lions for 2 seasons. In both of their seasons in County, Pennsylvania together at Penn State, they won the national championships and cultivated an undefeated 2009 season. We see them talking just before the match as if no time has passed, still incredible cheerleaders of one another.
Dorton was an outside hitter, right next to Coach Wilson as a middle blocker. 2 national champion teams together. Wilson had 4 of them, the only program to do such a thing. 4 straight national championships. That's ridiculous.
Dylan, it's a sisterhood at the end of the day. You never forget that. Your blood, sweat, and tears were shared together on the hardwood or the Terraflex, whatever it may be. You know, maybe in Ball State's case, the Terraflex, but you share all these memories. You're bonded by that. You never forget that, and both of these, Wilson and Darton, they both know how important that is.
And the encapsulation of that, Rowan, some beautiful hardware in your office.
Oh yeah, we saw it with Kelly Miller-Phillips, all of those MAC titles in her office. We just see it at the end of the day. Arielle Wilson and Darcy Dorton, what they accomplished at Penn State will never be forgotten.
Absolutely. Coach Wilson and one of her assistant coaches conversing right now. We're set to be back underway in just a matter of moments. The first server will be the setter, Keelan Mill. Mill with 23 service aces to 27 errors. The transfer from Idaho has been great so far with Central Michigan. 5 kills and 8 digs in her last game. Also 40 assists, 2 straight setter of the week nods to end October. Her right arm swings, and we are back underway in Worthen Arena. First kill will be to Wise on the slide action. Easy pickings for the Wapahani product.
It's those early mistakes for Central Michigan that you have to get out of the way. Stuff like that coming out of the half break. It was that time Raymond not in position.
Now it'll be Green. 2 teams switch sides again. Tyler keeps it up, just pushed over from Snook. Set attempt from Mill. Tried to stay on the Central side, but Carson Tyler just took advantage of the mistake.
That's why you can't leave it up with a long set, because Carson Tyler, she'll be right there watching it like a hawk, ready to attack.
The court awareness of these Cardinals has been so much fun to watch. Green gets a chance to rise again. Early 2-0 lead for the hometown Redbirds. Central Michigan trying to get anything going. They do just that with Taylor Kripe, our impact player.
Taylor Kripe, one of the few times so far that we've called her name, but you go to her because she's been your go-to all season as a freshman. Her and the Chippewas have a bright future in that front.
Kripe coming from Goodland, Indiana, just 2.5 hours from here in Muncie. This time it's Tiffany Snook on the slide. Attack from Central, kept up. Carson Tyler on the double block, and we got a ball coming our way. Yet another kill for the New York product.
Dylan, I think that one had my name written all over it. Luckily, you guys stay cool, calm, and collected, like nothing even happened.
It's the 9th kill for Carson Tyler. That one was a little scary. No more spinning serve for Carson Tyler. 1-on-1, Green keeps it up. Ledbetter, it'll be to Snook as the opposite hitter. Mishandled was the set there from Brooklyn Connor. The Chippewas are just all over the place.
Yeah, coming out of a halftime break, if you want to call it that, that's typically what you wouldn't expect. You would think you'd be more fundamentally sound, not this time.
Tyler goes from the stripe and sails wide for a Chippewa point. Cut the lead in half now, 4-2 early on in set 3. They've got to win this one or their championship hopes have been squandered once more.
Yeah, they have to win this match or else they're out of MAC tournament contention.
Not only do they need to sweep the Cardinals, Akron needs to get swept by Toledo and Bowling Green by Buffalo. So they need to win these two and get a lot of help. Cam Weiss doesn't want that to happen, though. She gets yet another kill.
I wonder if the Ball State players know about that. You would think maybe not, but Central Michigan, surely they know. They know that this third set, their season's on the line.
As for the Cardinals, it is smooth sailing the rest of the way, clinching the 1 seed about a week and a half ago against Eastern Michigan. Calling for it was Kroll, but Van Oort gets the nod. Falling in reverse was Van Oort, but the kill is collected. She gets a dig now. It'll be Tyler from the back row. Goes to the opposite side. Kroll tries it, but no. Van Oort wants another. Somehow kept up. Kripe makes the diving play. It'll be Raymond. Can't get through Tyler's arm. And after a long, sustained rally, probably the longest of the day, Central Michigan gets the upper hand.
Even though Natalia Raymond's going to get most of the credit for that kill because you get past 2 Cardinals, that's big. Taylor Kripe, that's why she's listed as an outside hitter and defensive specialist. That sliding play was ridiculous.
Green, it'll now go to Snook. Swaying with Snook, and she gets the kill handily.
Tiffany Snook, it almost seems like she's been the go-to, especially in that first set. Not as much in that second set, but in set number 3, once again calling her name, and the former HSC Royal getting it done.
Coming off a 7-kill day, she now has 6. That last one just bulldozing the ball. Can the Chips respond? They try the slide with Thomas, and it goes out of bounds, but not after hitting the Cardinal hands. They get to 4.
Yeah, using that slide typically to the right side is what we've seen from the Chippewas. Going more there, they've migrated in that area, and it's worked in some ways.
So much lateral movement on either side. Great job of spacing the floor. It'll be Van Oort. Walks her way up, but can't get it done. 1-on-1, Kroll wins. Kept alive. Now it'll be Tyler from the back row. The ball was blasted. She tries to get it again. Van Oort, though, she will end the rally.
When do we see that? Back-to-back back row attacks, doesn't go your way. Then Van Oort just has to tap it right over in that sweet spot where no one is there. Everyone's focused on what could happen with a joust at the net. No one's guarding that back row area.
In a word, these Cardinals have been opportunistic up front. It'll now be Kripe. Tried to get it across, but didn't even pass the net. Point Ball State.
I think it's just a miscommunication. Taylor Kripe maybe looking for the free ball. It just wasn't the right time, wasn't the right situation to go with that. It didn't go the Chippewas' way.
It'll be tabling once more from the far side. She dishes. Slide once more to Thomas. Axness recovers. In reverse, it's Tyler. We now go opposite side to Raymond. Ledbetter's diving attempt won't go.
Central Michigan, this team has so much fight in them to just stay put with them. Staying put with the Cardinals is not easy, especially as we get into the waning moments of a matchup. They're right there with them.
The Chippewas have their backs against the wall, but they are fighting with every rally. The attack now goes to Kroll up the middle. That'll land. Easy, simple kill from the product of Bowling Green.
Hey, back to your fundamentals. Gwen Kroll right over in the middle. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ball State's been doing it all day. The middles have been the MVPs.
Kroll the gallop and sending. Now we go on a back row attack to Raymond. Tabling, gets it to Tyler. Two Chippewas ready to face her, but they corral it. Back row attack this time from Natalia Raymond. Tyler tries again, rejected at the line, but Kroll keeps it up. It'll be Kristen Ashby as the opposite. Diving play is Natalia Raymond. Now Kripe. Kristen Ashby one-on-one says no.
Kristen Ashby has been ridiculous, whether it be with the kills working on that right side or with the blocks up front. Offensively and defensively, it's been a coming out party for her.
The transfer from Alabama State has been a pillar on that opposite side. Now they open up the floor by attacking with the middle, Brooklyn Connor, and it'll land. Effectively a tool for the 6'3" senior.
You see it's desperate volleyball because Ball State won that race to 10, and you go by fives. It's waning more and more on the Chippewas that your season's on the line.
Tabling, now to Ashby. The momentum gain was tried to be there, but Brooklyn Connor says no.
It seems like these last couple of points, Central Michigan, especially up front with Taylor Kripe doing it all, they're playing like the MAC tournament hopes are on the line because they are.
Beatty, the Indiana native, sends it over. Tyler with a booming kill. Cloud piercing is the New York kid.
Cloud piercing, skywalking. Carson Tyler's really done it all, especially on that left side. I know she's great when you move her around, but hey, on that left side where she's been so strong, that's where she's going to get the most production.
And in a back and forth game, the Cards are percolating for that set 3 win. Tabling now gets it to Green. Weiss right down aisle 3, and that'll land comfortably into the Terraflex.
Going on that left side, trying to get the weak spot. It's one of those things where you're thinking maybe it goes out of play if you're Central Michigan. Weiss just getting it in.
Great play from Cam Weiss. We're going to take a short break here from Worthen Arena. Cards up 12-7 in the third. This matchup, Natalia Raymond has made such a big impact, and for more on her, let's go back down to Annika Whitty.
Thanks, guys. A powerful Chippewa outside hitter and senior Natalia Raymond, currently leading her squad in kills tonight with 7, has also reached the 100 career service aces milestone tonight. Additionally, if she accumulates 17 total digs between this match and tomorrow's, she'll also reach the unfathomable milestone of 1,000 career digs. And as if she couldn't get more interesting, she comes to the States from the beautiful country of Poland, and she has settled in perfectly, making an immense impact both offensively and defensively for the Chippewas this season.
Raymond is now 12 kills away from a grand. Some conversing going on between Kelly Miller-Phillips and the official. Cardinals and Chippewas awaiting the serve from Lindsey Green. Whistle blows and we will be back. Product of Ursuline Academy, she sends it underway. Kripe facing the double block, but tabling collects. It'll be Weiss once more time. Falls out of bounds. Everybody in Worthen wants a tip call. Cards don't get it.
I think they might be on to something. The fans might have something there. The tip could have been, but we're not going to get a review, so we may never know.
No movement from KMP to grab that green card. Now the attacker is Tiffany Snook, completely stonewalled by the aforementioned Natalia Raymond.
It's rare because Tiffany Snook has the height advantage over Raymond. It's rare that you lose that matchup if you're Tiffany Snook, but Raymond, she's got hops. She can really get up there.
Snook with the 6'2" wingspan against Raymond standing at just 5'10". Discombobulation from the Cardinal side, but Carson Tyler tries to do it herself, falls out of bounds.
Central Michigan battling after Ball State. They had a hefty lead to start that first set. They were up 2-0. They were up 3-0 at one point. And Central Michigan has battled back to make it a close set 3.
Kripe tries to keep it short, but again, right into the network. Seen that a couple times.
Yet another error for the Chippewas, something you can't have if you're trying to get back into this matchup, trying to keep your MAC tournament hopes alive. It just can't happen. We all know that.
Tyler's offering goes just past play. Another service error from the former MAC freshman of the year.
We've seen that 3 times from Tyler in this set with that service error. It's rare to see it from her. It just hasn't been her day from the stripe in that regard.
Hannah Langton from the far side serves it across. They go cross court with Van Orden. It'll go. The super spike, as said over the PA. Great play from the Indiana Tech.
Super spike indeed, getting past 2 Chippewas, that brick wall of Sweers and Thomas. It's not easy, but Van Ort's able to get it done.
Now the Cardinals libero led better. Kripe gets it up. It'll be Raymond once more. Snook gets the attack on the opposite side and tattoos the ball for yet another Cardinal point.
What can Alina Anderson do on that play? Seriously, when it's tattooed, like you said, that's the perfect word to describe it, just tattooing it right into the Terraflex.
Out of system is Central Michigan. Cardinals trying to keep their momentum. Diving play there from Kripe. We now go opposite side. Kept up from Ball State. It'll be crawl up the middle, right down Broadway.
Now, one-way ticket to Broadway right there for Gwen Krull. Utilizing the middle, an off-balance set from Lindsey Green. I think that gave her more of an advantage to set up Krull on that play.
So Ledbetter tries again. From the back row, it'll be Kripe. Now Snook on the opposite side, but that just goes right into the net. I think it just hit the wrong part of her hand.
Now, you're absolutely right. It did go off the wrong part of her hand. And not only that, she's trying to go cross court, trying to sneak it in on the front line, which it's kind of rare in that regard to go cross court front line on it. But right idea, not the execution.
For the first time today, we see Izzy Sweers, but gets her 52nd service error. She leads the team in 28 service aces, but a ratio you kind of have to swallow. Another error to her name there.
It's one of those things where, hey, if you're getting up 28 service aces, you have to take what you can get.
I think Coach Wilson is just opting for more offense at this point. Axness floats it. It'll be a slide once more. Story of the day, but Grace Thomas can't get it done. Van Ort gets it past 2 Chippewa blockers.
I wonder if we'll see from Central Michigan. I wonder if we'll see more 5-2 if they opt for more offense. The Cardinals, they don't need to go into that, or 5-1, I should say. The Cardinals don't need to regard into that. They're good with their 6-2.
Ball State has been smooth sailing, but a little bit more panic from the Chippewa sideline. Raymond's kill is blocked by Ashby. Now the back row, Kripe goes right into the grid. Losing momentum are the visitors from Mount Pleasant.
Cardinals pulling away, just ever so close of winning that race to 20. It's so important.
Timeout is called by Coach Ariel Wilson. Chippewas find themselves down 7. On either side comes a high school of Ursuline Academy. For more on that, we go to Annika Whitty for the kids from Ursuline.
Yes, indeed. There are 2 Ursuline Academy products here on the Terraflex tonight. We see it from Lindsey Green, the setter, and Rainey Wademan. So it's very, very nice to see, though formerly playing on the same side of the court in opposition tonight.
Ursuline Academy near Cincinnati, Ohio has 8 different students across the Mid-American Conference.
Hey, it's big for a volleyball school. These coaches, they know the Mid-American Conference almost like the back of their hands. It's great to see that reunion between Lindsey Green and Rainey Wademan, 2 players that, especially for Wademan this season for the Chippewas, even though we haven't seen her today, as a freshman, she's proven in her limited playing time that she can be a valuable piece for the Chippewas moving forward when we see more of Arielle Wilson and her squad in the coming years.
She's done a great job, but from Ursuline, so many names. We saw in that Miami game multiple reunions for Lindsey Green as well, like Molly Creech, Lindy Radoszewski, among others. But the prestigious school has been as high as 16th in the country as some of those players spent their time there.
Hey, it's a day of reunions, Dylan, and I'm here for it.
Gotta love it. It'll be Axness from the near side to get us going once more. The magic number is 6 for Ball State. The slide there from Thomas, we've seen it over and over. This time it works.
It's a slide, not only just a slide, but to the far side. That's what we see most of the time from Central Michigan when they do utilize that.
Now it'll be Raymond. 13 games this season with double-digit kills, on pace for another one. Kroll called for the slide, but the attack goes to Ashby. It's a scramble for the ball, and Sweers can't get an arm on it. Cardinals win the race to 20, and in comes Elizabeth Tabling.
Yeah, the race to 20 is so important, and getting it that way on a miscombobulation on that backside, so huge for the Cardinals.
The Edgewood, Kentucky native Elizabeth Tabling serves it away. It'll be Kripe. Big extension from her, somehow kept alive from the visitors. Now it's Ashby again. Can she build momentum? No. Back to Kripe. Goes past the arm of Tabling, and it'll be a point for Central. The 6'1" sophomore Grace Thomas up next in the service rotation. 29 service aces to 30 errors. She's been great from the stripe. Axness now to Tyler again. Big boost of momentum. Tabling slams into the Terraflex. 21 points and 4 points away from a Cardinal win.
That's her 12th kill right there. Carson Tyler, I know we talked about the blocks, and reasonably so, but 12 kills, you gotta take that, especially in 3 sets.
Up next on the docket is Gwen Kroll. Serve doesn't go to her avail. Chippewas trying to get something going here as Molly Beatty comes back in to serve.
And Gwen Kroll, that's a rare error on her part from the stripe. She's been very solid in that regard.
Just her 20th as a mainstay in that rotation. Tabling gets it up. It'll be Weiss up the middle. The set was too low from Axness, and it goes right off the top of the tape and lands back on the Cardinal side.
Right idea, great serve from Axness, but Cam Wise just can't come away with it. A little too short on it, got the wrong side of her hand as well. It didn't play well.
Now Beatty gets us going again. This time it'll be Tyler on a double block. Goes off the arms of Raymond. No Chippewa can get to it. 3 points away are the Cardinals from a sweep.
Not only that, Central Michigan has to realize that they're 3 points away from their MAC tournament hopes from falling into shambles. They can't get a hold of it. It's those little things like that that are going to come back to bite you and become the big things.
It'll be the Cardinals' best server, Lindsey Green, to try and finish. Kripe tries it. Tabling somehow gets that ball up. Snook on the opposite side, no. One-on-one, and Wise wins. Another block from the Wapahani product. She leads the way for these Cardinals.
And to no surprise, going into this matchup, had 87 blocks. Has been ridiculous. I wouldn't be surprised if we leave this Central Michigan series where she's close to that 100 mark.
She's stepped up in a big way in the absences of Kennedy, Eganoff, and Buckley. Little discourse between Coach Wilson and the official, but we're back underway from the serve of Lindsey Green. up the middle, recovered by the aforementioned Green. And now it's Snook on the double block, sails it way wide. That one might have gone all the way to Mount Pleasant. Chippewas get the point.
It might be going to Mount Pleasant on that route. Just too much on it from Snook. It's a rare mistake and what's been such a great day for the Memphis transfer.
Now our impact player, Taylor Kripe, tries to build some momentum for Central. Snook tries once more, Anderson recovers. Back row, Kripe, Weiss somehow keeps it up. Tyler sent it over, but now it's Raymond. Tabling keeps it up. Diving play was the sophomore from Kentucky. We play on. Swears, Tabling can't get it that time. So many great plays from her, but can't expect to do that every time.
You can't. It's where Ball State has been great in that area. You're not going to get that every time. Tabling's been solid all day, just can't get it done.
Now Kripe gets another chance. It'll be back to Tyler. Slams it home. We are 1 point away from a Cardinal sweep.
13 kills for Carson Tyler, getting it done in so many kind of ways for the Cardinals, setting up Ball State for such a big play with that ferocious spike.
And now checking in is Kendall Eden. Just 6 games played this year, most recently the first game against Kent State. She's the one that gets the nod of serving. It'll be Raymond off the arm of Ledbetter. Don't know how it was kept alive. Van Ort. Van Ort ends it. Just like that. The Cardinals have their 30th 20-win season.
So big for Ball State, what they've been able to do this season. Another big win for them.
Props to the Cardinals. Great work from Noelle Van Ort, who had an outstanding day of her own. 5 kills and 2 digs. Pretty efficient hitting percentage. Wonderful offense from Ball State. Gets it done in 3. And now we bring it to the sideline with our sideline reporter, Annika Whitty.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with winning coach, Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips. You are always emphasizing the fundamentals and the little details with your squad. How do they mirror your coaching philosophy tonight?
Well, I thought we did a really good job in a couple key areas. Defensively, we actually made some plays. I mean, Central Michigan, they have arms and heat everywhere, and I thought we did a really good job of just staying the course, handling that short serve that was causing some problems early, and just stayed the course, just doing what we do, and I'm proud of our group for that.
Absolutely, and looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow is senior night, and you are honoring 3 of your Cardinals. What does that mean to you as a coach?
It's always special. It's crazy, like this time of year, it flies so fast, and it just gives you some time to reflect on how much they meant to the program, what a great year we've had, but yet also the excitement of yet to come, and I think that's what a combination of tomorrow is going to be.
I love that. Well, congratulations on the win, Coach.
Thanks, Annika. Let's take a look at some of our highlights to this match, and starting with the Central Michigan Chippewas, today it was all Natalia Raymond.
Yeah, especially when you've done all you can for your team, not only in the killing department, but with 5 digs as well. It just wasn't enough, but Raymond had a great day.
And looking at the Cardinals, it's who else but Carson Tyler. Great work from the sophomore.
Carson Tyler, 13 kills. She was elite, 3 service aces as well. Was really great, really in all phases of the game. That's why she's considered a 5-tool player in many ways.
Both outside hitters on either side have just been ridiculous all year long, especially Tyler today getting the better. Double-digit kills yet again for her. But let's take a look at some of our stats from today. Ball State leading the way in kills. It's a common theme we've seen this year. 47-33, an outstanding margin. There was some concern with the net presence of Central Michigan, but the Cardinals were able to handle themselves just 3 blocks behind the visitors. 3 service aces for the Cardinals, 2 of them coming off of Carson Tyler. But as we know, that hitting percentage is big.
And look at that, 24% to 13. If you're losing in that regard, even if it's close in blocks, if you're winning in blocks, you just can't win when you're only attacking at a 13% clip. We know that.
When you talk to some coaches in the MAC, hitting at 250 is generally the ideal goal for a squad. Hitting at 246, just about there. Great work from the Cardinal offense, as we've seen all year. This evening's Ball State Sports Link production was produced by Drew Wilmot and directed by Kate Johnson. So, For Rowan Elbert and Annika Whitty, I am Dylan Budd saying so long from Muncie, Indiana, where the final score is Ball State 3, Central Michigan 0. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.